Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to FirstEnergy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to FirstEnergy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Browns heading out, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of number 6 in his second season now with the Browns. The #1 overall pick in 2018, Baker Mayfield. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Bring her. 180. Let's go, D.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Lions under second-year coach Matt Patricia. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
Running back Kerryon Johnson was drafted out of Auburn in the 2nd round in 2018 to become the Detroit Lions' lead running back, something they haven't had in a long time. In fact, in 2018, he ran for over 100 yards in a game in September, the first Lions back over 100 yards since Reggie Bush on Thanksgiving Day in 2013. They're hoping that continues, and he'll be the 3-down runner that they've been seeking.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Stafford looking middle, and it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. But it's going to be 2nd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
When you're the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft of 2017, puts a little extra scrutiny. Defensive end Myles Garrett is certainly used to it. In 2018, came into his own his 2nd year in the league with 13.5 sacks, and really expects to increase that total in years to come.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play that can just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Seven yards there and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Watching that play unfold or watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Browns offense working their way back out here, Charles. And one thing is already for sure about these Browns. They're not going to lack for storylines. You think about this, though. This team has not had a winning record since George W. Bush was president, was 0-16 2 years ago, and now they're not just getting playoff buzz, they're getting Super Bowl buzz.
Well, partner, it shows what getting the right quarterback to lead your franchise can do for you, because Baker Mayfield has taken that city, and I would dare say the league, by storm, and played awfully well as a rookie. Should have been the starter right from week 1. Add in Odell Beckham Jr., no doubt this team's going to be fiery. And let's not overlook Jarvis Landry. He plays with passion out on the perimeter. I think the division's down a little bit. Could be theirs for the taking, but they'll still have to battle Pittsburgh and Baltimore if they want to make that jump.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Caught left side, it's Beckham. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. A run for Nick Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third down, Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So Detroit will get the football here in just a second as we prognosticate about the upcoming season. Last year, Matt Patricia's first year as head coach, 6-10, and that was on the heels of Jim Caldwell's final 2 seasons at 9-7. So is there a turnaround for year 2 of Matt Patricia?
They're certainly hoping so. Maybe the system takes root. You know, maybe they protect Matthew Stafford better at quarterback. But you can see how they tried to get better both through the draft. Remember, T.J. Hockenson was their #1 pick, the tight end out of Iowa. And they're expecting big things from him. And then on the other side, free agency. They got Trey Flowers, the pass-rushing defensive end from the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. So trying to put it all together and trying to chase down the Chicago Bears in the NFC North. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Here we go.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. He's going to look deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
Able to power through. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. To throw is Stafford. James has got it. Complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Jones. A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Let's get it.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
It's just me.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Let's get this.
Now Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
180. They're going to need some therapy after this. I got you.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Mayfield completes it to Higgins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Going to the air again with Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mayfield with it once more. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Browns have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Point after, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And now it's 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Looking deep now for Amendola. And that's caught inside the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing again is Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. To the air again, Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has the look of a game that could very well go down to the wire. Just 1 point separating these two clubs at the break. But they're ready for the second half, and we are too. As we'll kick it right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
50, 180. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On first down, it's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. They'll run on first down. Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Blue 60! I got you! I got you!
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, the left side completion to Jones.
Come on.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 8-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here I come again.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. this run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
So we got man.
Mayfield now. Going deep here for Landry. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 32 on the play.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. He won't go down. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Following the penalty, Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashard Higgins there to make the grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Joseph now to have the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Joseph now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Mayfield looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 11, a little under 1:50 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
It's a gain of 9.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Second and 10, Stafford again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 45-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Stafford on first down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Johnson. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The Lions on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Stafford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.